Slightly over a year ago, the world was thrown into a global pandemic of the COVID-19 virus. The speed and depth with which this virus spread and affected nations around the world was breathtaking. Quite simply, this was something the world was not prepared for. Many countries experienced economic shock, which in turn led to a tsunami of people around the world without jobs, without livelihoods, without rent, and without the most basic of human necessities, food. Consequently, in the past year, Compassion was faced with significant challenges in all 25 of our program countries. In 2020, we made a promise that we would use your sponsorship funds to address these critical needs. Since April of last year, Compassion has provided over 12 million family food packs and over 8 million hygiene kits. We focused on educating families and communities on how to take practical steps to safeguard themselves. At the same time, we ensured that we increased our child protection awareness and interventions as appropriate to each case. Of course, COVID-19 was not the only challenge 2020 brought. The consequences of the pandemic were also compounded by natural disasters as well as social and political crises across the world. For example, in the Africa region, 2020 brought plagues of locusts unlike anything that had been experienced in over 70 years. In Asia, we experienced destructive typhoons. In Latin America and Caribbean, we witnessed an unusually high number of storms and hurricanes in 2020. Some of our field countries were severely affected, and again, Compassion stepped in to support children and families. As we enter midway 2021, we can be thankful that vaccines are beginning to counter the spread of COVID-19 and they're becoming available. Nonetheless, vaccines are not yet universally available around the world. Consequently, we're still needing to address the challenge of COVID-19. We are still providing support for food and hygiene kits to the most vulnerable families and children in our programs. We are stepping up efforts to innovate on how we deliver education content to youth and children where schools are still on lockdown. This spirit of program innovation and agility is something that we will continue to carry forward in the years to come. As I look over the past 1 year, and even this year, I can see clear signs of God's faithfulness over this ministry. He has given us everything that we have needed. We know that the needs of our neighbors have increased tremendously in this season. But I'm encouraged that the God who has been faithful to us in our most difficult days will also be faithful to us in the days to come. We can trust Him. I encourage all of us to rededicate ourselves and our calling and our work so that we can reach more neighbors with the love of God, the love that God has given to us and through us. On behalf of the 8,000 churches in the 25 countries, on behalf of the families of the over 2 million children and youth that we support, thank you for your prayers and thank you for your giving.